welcome to yet another interesting edition of Let's Relate with Amo. I remain your darling host, Victoria Yoruba. Hope you've enjoyed the previous episode so far. Thank you for subscribing to our YouTube channel at Let's Relate with Amo. Thank you for following us on our Instagram page at Let's Relate with Amo. Today's episode is friendship in marriage, and we have our guest in the house. He's a father. He's a youth leader, I guess. He's the Youth Alive coordinator at Living Faith Church Youth Ministry. He's also a banker, and he's a lovely personality. You would enjoy him. I would like to introduce Mr. Elijah Akanni. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you for
Thank you.
having
He's
me.
going to be taking us on friendship in marriage. Over to you, sir.
Well, thank you, Victoria, for having me here. First and foremost, I'd like to begin by saying this about marriage. That marriage is not just a union between a man and a woman. We must understand that marriage itself is a form of friendship. It is the highest form of friendship that can ever exist between a woman and a man. So when you take friendship out of marriage, you see what you are left with is nothing but cohabitation. Now in Genesis 2:24, when God said, therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and shall cleave unto his wife. You see, there is first of all a cleaving. That cleaving suggests intimacy. And there's no how you can ever achieve intimacy without friendship. In fact, let me paint a more vivid picture. A marriage without friendship is like a bird without wings. You cannot fly. Let me also put it this way to you, maybe to make it clear. It's like bringing two slices of bread, together. Friendship is that margarine, that butter, or the sandwich, that you put in between two slices of bread that keep them, together. So friendship in marriage is key. Unfortunately, most couples, think that friendship is what you do, before wedding. As a matter of fact, we need to begin to look at the concept of marital friendship management. Because if you don't pay attention to, in fact, you manage what is good, you manage what is bad. Are you getting me? Friendship is good. You need to manage it. In marriage, many people tend to neglect the management of the friendship between them and the spouse. So if you don't manage friendship, you will manage conflicts. So something must be managed. And so it's not something you can just, throw out of the way. It is friendship that keeps the bond. Vicky, let me even, maybe this might shock you. There are so many marriages today where there's serious love between your husband and wife, and yet they are unhappy. It is not love that makes happy marriage. You can be loving your wife, loving your husband, but without friendship, you remain unhappy, in the marriage. People or many couples are out there, he loves his wife, but they don't take our time, to really build that friendship. And so, the two of them, they are in their marriage, but they are not happy. So, powerful marriages, happy marriages have their roots in friendship. So it's one key area that every couple, must, as a matter of fact, pay attention to. It doesn't stop on your wedding day. That's why we say there's courtship after marriage. In other words, a deeper, higher form of friendship, starts really after marriage, and you really need to take it as serious business. Otherwise, the marriage might just be heading for a rock.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you so much. I would like to ask a question from what you just said.
Yeah.
There are marriages where there's no friendship bond, they don't start it even in the relationship. They just want to get married and that's it. How do they start building friendship when there was really nothing in the first place? You see them just living because of the children. You hear a woman saying, me, I'm just staying in this house because of my children. And how do they start building what was never there?
Good. You see, friendship, like I said earlier, is what brings intimacy. You can have a marriage and they are not happy. That just like you said, there are so many people today who are in a marriage and tell you, I'm here because of my children. You see, because the intimacy is not it's not just there. Many people think intimacy is about sex, but far from it. Studies have shown us that there are other areas of intimacy that are 5 times more important than sex itself.
Okay.
So to be intimate with someone, in fact, the case in reference, makes it even clear. You are in a marriage. I mean, sex is ongoing, but the person is not still happy. Why? Because the real thing is intimacy, and there are different areas, different facets, or different forms of intimacy. Specifically, let me give you 6 of them, which we need to work on deliberately. Otherwise, the marriage cannot be what it ought to be. Now, number 1 is emotional intimacy. That emotional intimacy is key. In fact, is perhaps the most important form of intimacy. This is where the husband and wife, share their thoughts, feelings, desires. You create the environment for the 2 of you to express yourself, express how you feel to each other. If you are my wife, you are looking at me, I know what you feel. Why? Because there is emotional, intimacy. Once there's a change, in a part in your facial expression, I know what that means. That can only come when we have emotional intimacy. Now, couples need to sit down and look at that area very, very well. Don't be too busy, to share your thoughts, your ideas, your desires, with your spouse. You see, another area is intellectual intimacy. The word intellectual means understanding. You need to sit down and understand different areas that affects your marriage. For instance, we're talking about how you want to raise your children. For instance, what values do you want to inculcate? The 2 of you need to be on the same page on that. What are we teaching these children? What values? Budget, family projects. You need to, get connected intellectually, emotional connect. Are you getting me? Now, that's very, very important. Then we have recreational intimacy. Recreational has to do with two of you being active together. Taking a walk together, go swimming together, play games together, having fun together, recreationally, do what you both enjoy. That will create recreational intimacy. Then we have spiritual intimacy. This is where praying together comes into play. Studying the Word of God together. You just come across a rema. Oh, you come back. Hey, honey, I had one word today that just blew my mind. What's that, honey? And you share with her, and she's also there just screaming. There is a connection that comes with it. Now you go somewhere, God just open your eyes to a rema. You come back home, the first person you want to share with is your husband or your wife. So there's a spiritual, connect. And there's also what we call financial intimacy. This is where, I I watched one of the video where you talked about the
Financial
transparency in marriage.
Yes.
You see, you can never be financially transparent until there's financial intimacy. When you are close to your wife, but you're not close financially. You understand?
Yes.
So you can be physically close to your wife or to your husband, but you are not financially close. He doesn't know anything, about what you earn, how you spend your money. So we need to know our financial resources together and what are we doing, with all of that. Then the last is the physical, intimacy. That's where touch, hug, kiss. So friendship is tied, to all of this. But unfortunately, we live in a world where we are made to think that all that there is to friendship or intimacy is physical intimacy. There's a lot more. There are more powerful forces, especially the emotional, intimacy, drives, the highest form of friendship. And until you get it right there, you just be going up and down, not really. You will have challenges, and put it that way. And then let me say this also, that Victoria, see, marriage is a gift from God to man. But the quality of your marriage is not a gift.
Thank you very much, sir. That's so informative. Of all the intimacy, I think there's one that we Nigerians don't do. Recreational intimacy. Don't be too busy to go on a walk with your partner. Don't be too busy to take her out. You see people say, my husband has changed, though. That. Please, brother, don't focus on making money for the family and then not invest in the quality of your marriage. The quality of your marriage, just like you said, is as good as the effort you put in. Thank you so much. We have some questions here from our viewers online. The first one is, I had an arranged marriage at a very early age to my husband. Loving him seemed an obligation. So I noticed our relationship is fading off by the day. How do I build friendship that never existed? I think you've
I've already answered that. In fact, physical intimacy will always fade when you fail on other forms of intimacy.
Thank you so much.
So she needs to work on those
areas. Thank you. So you've heard the answers. You could stick to this 6 intimacy, and we pray God will help you build friendship in your marriage. Because Bible says, not of he that willeth or runneth, but it's of the Lord that showeth mercy. So it's not by your physical strength alone. You need to ask God for the grace to keep doing it. There are times when you might want to take a walk and the man says, I'm tired, I don't go shop. Sorry, I'm going to speak a little broken. I don't go shop, come back. If they tell me, say you won't take walk. This is a typical Igbo man that knows only business. So you might try other forms and then keep doing it and it will work. The second question is, I have 3 daughters and we have been under pressure to bear a son after 10 years of marriage. We finally got a son, and ever since then, my wife has neglected me so much that I feel jealous of our son. What do I do?
Wow. It's not sounding like the son now. He's not the second husband.
Yes.
Well, that's on a lighter note. But I like us to look at this very sensitive question, critically. The truth of the matter is that there is a special and natural bond between every mother and her children. And nobody can take that away from her. But the other thing is the intimacy or the bond between a mother and her children should not be at the expense of the bond between she and her husband. Okay. Now, because of the bond, there are responsibilities. The mother has the responsibility of looking after her children. The higher the number of children, the higher her responsibilities. And most time, it is just logical, it's just rational, that in the face of the mounting, responsibilities, she naturally will not be able to give you the 100% attention that you need to get. Why? Because she's just being responsible. I put it that way. Okay, let me get more practical about it. Before you have a child, maybe you stay in bed every morning, 30 minutes, cuddling, before you eventually even wake up. Now, you have 4 children. Maybe you've been married 10 years, right? Yeah. Maybe the age of the first child is 8 years, maybe the second one is 6 years, third one 4 years, and maybe this last one maybe 2 years. They will go to school. She will not have time to start cuddling you for 30 minutes, 1 hour, like she used to. Why? She has 4 kids, to take care of in the morning. So somewhere what I'm saying is the tax for a woman, as the number of children grow in the house, becomes huge, becomes more enormous. And at that point, the man needs to really put himself in her shoe to understand, that what he's saying is not neglect per se. It's just a woman's way of trying to be responsible. Even though, yes, I'm not ruling out the fact that some women, take it too far. You understand? You cannot rule that out. But I will tell you that there are responsibilities. And many men tend to interpret that as neglect. It's not neglect. What it simply means is that if you are a man, you are in this kind of situation and you are feeling neglected, what it means is that you are not connected to what is happening in your house. I'll give you an instance. You see, you can stop her. If you say it's neglect, why not try this? Wake up in the morning. Before she wakes up, you be the one to boil water in the house. Let's assume maybe you don't have a water heater in your house. Be the one to bath the children. She wakes up, goes to the kitchen, cook her food, and maybe you bath the children. I do that a lot. Every day. Wow. Every day, I bath my children before coming here. Wow. Do you understand? While she's looking for what to wear for them, I'll take their shoe and clean it. And then we're talking about what affects the two of us. So, the man, you see, most time when we point our accusing finger, you see, the fall, like they say, points back at you. It's him that needs to get connected into the activities that is keeping her busy, that makes it look like she's neglecting him. Because if she chooses to neglect the children, also, there will be a challenge.
Okay, thank you very much. I think this last question answers a whole lot. It's a practical thing.
Yes.
These are real life issues that happen in marriages. So, you that has asked that question, please, you need to devise a strategy on how to reduce the workload on your wife so that you can have alone time with her. There's this book, The 5 Love Languages by Ray Chapman. Now, if you understand your partner's love language, I think it will go a long way to ease something. Thank you so much. I've learned a lot. I have learned the 6 types of intimacy, and that just answers everything about friendship. Thank you so much. We are so glad to have you here on the show. So, if you are not friends with your partner, please stick to the 6 intimacy that he has said, and it will work. One might not work, the other might work, but please build friendship in marriage. Love might fail, it might not carry. It's just like I said, it's the jam, the butter that brings 2 breads together. This is you, this is your wife, but friendship lasts forever.